Hello. Gonna be a lot more fucking cutscenes today. And I imagine a lot of them are gonna be fucking auto text as well. Ugh. Onward. Are they close, Laurel?
Yes, you almost caught up to them.
When this is over, you should look into bounty hunting. For some reason, I don't think she has the disposition for that work.
What? What is that?
What's up?
There's something in there with them. Something awful.
Please, no. Hey, that's about the 10th on this thing you've said. What do you know that we don't? And if you say all, my head might explode. There's no time for that right now. Let's go before we lose them again. I need to swap out his water pistols. This is definitely better for now. No time to waste jumping on rocks. Time breath, the Lodite casts a sinkhole round Shroud. That's the one. Hey, aren't you guys forgetting something? What are you talking about, fool? Talking about that chest over there. Yeah? What about it? Are you slow? That's a red chest. That means it's an item important to our quest. What are you talking about? Couldn't you have lost your mind back on the ship so we could have left you behind with Marin? Say what you will, but I know we need what is in that chest to continue. You know, he does have a point. Red chests have had important items in the past.
Oh no, that's too dangerous, Shroud.
I hope you're not thinking of going ahead with this idiot's notion. I've been working on focusing my wind magic. With a few precise jumps, we can make it over there, no problem. Yeah, Shroud knows what I'm talking about. Time for some extreme pillar jumping. If that chest ends up being empty, I'm going to leave you in it.
Before you get into the exciting world of extreme pillar jumping, EPJ, you need to learn a few necessary techniques. The first technique is projecting a mental image of oneself to mark the target of the jump. Use the directional keys to move your projection around. Press enter when you are ready for the next phase. If you mess up your trajectory, press escape and try again. Great job! You're quickly on your way to becoming an EPJ Pro. This part is a little more difficult, so listen up. Now that you've chosen your target, you must build up wind power into your legs to make the leap. To do that, press enter on the power bar, and the bar lines up with the red arrow. If you miss it, you'll surely fail. If you doubt yourself, then now is the last time you can escape out of it. Now jump like the wind.
Baron. Secret recipe 9. That seems utterly pointless. Oh, fucking. Fucking knock it off. Water scorpion calls out to the sea. He sits still. Bastards. This is the way they must have come in. We want to head north to find them. Eh, not attacked yet. Be clever.
Treasure count. There are currently 6 treasures left. Nonsense. Sorry, you'll need to talk to my superior for that information. He's stationed deeper in the dungeon.
A very annoying fucking move. That's looking like it. Would have preferred you to take out anyone but Laurel there, but what are you gonna do? Now we went this way. We need to head east and look for a cave. Yep. section coming up. Still 6. Okay, fine. Very sure I got one there, but whatever.
You again. Apologize. I do not want my mind attacked by your spell a second time.
Laurel! I'm on it. Where did that come from? What's going on here? There's no need to barge into my apprentice's thoughts. I'll be perfectly happy to show you the fruits of my labor. A lich? Who are you? We have met before, Stoic, but I'm not surprised you don't recognize me in this form. But thanks to you, I've been able to make this transformation. That's not to say I didn't pay a higher price myself. Sometimes I wake up and my chest still hurts. You.
A necromancer from Millennia? So that means... Renner is his apprentice.
Of course. That was why.
And that was why I was there, Cade.
Crap. Now they know. I couldn't care less about your civilian names, though I'm sure my former employers would have been eager for that information. All those people. Ah, how could you go along with this? Save that for the trial. This sick little adventure of yours is at an end. You're both coming with us. I don't think so, my friend. I'm only just getting started. Ah, right on time. What the? Anchor. Huh? But in that... You and your fellow travellers did an admirable job sealing him up all those years ago, Stoic, but technology has come a long way. It was a simple matter to get him loose. I know he has dynamite all over the place. Finding out where he was, that was the hard part. Thank goodness for the hand's resources. Not many knew of what you were up to here centuries ago. But a few did. And you... Do you even have the slightest clue what you've done? Yes, this has all been planned out far in advance. You see, through your recent arrival here has been an unexpected help. I wasn't sure how I was going to motivate our sleepy friend here, but this should do the trick. Far more effective than my original plan, though I may be able to still use those bodies for something. Oh, I think he's recognized you. Get ready, everyone! No, don't even think of trying to find him. That goes for all of you. If that's the rule, you will have quite a problem. Run. Go on there, guys. I'm gonna blow this sucker sky high.
Baron, you don't need to do this to impress me.
I'm not. Just get out of here. I don't think the dynamite will be enough to stop him, but it might buy us some time.
He's coming.
You guys will think of something. Now get out of here so I can concentrate.
Need any instructions for this game? Pick up the aim bars exactly as Enka passes by the dynamite boxes. Maximum damage. It's up 3 times and it's another after time.
Break yourself, fool. Shoot. Okay. Take this thing. Motherfucker, you have 2 guns. Fucking have more than 1 shot. Ugh. Don't take any more hits from that giant sword. You have to run ahead and hope the guys had enough time to come up with something. Alright, Baron, blow that entrance to hell. You don't even need to ask nicely. That should hold me for a little while. That's terrible. What the hell was that? Long story. Yeah, well, now's the time to start telling it. That thing nearly crushed us all. You called it Enka. Wasn't that your friend's name? Well, he died during your battle at Vor's castle.
He didn't die.
No. At least, not then. You have to know this, man. If we're going to stop that lunatic, we have to at least know something about that monster he found.
It isn't easy for Stoic.
Sure it isn't. These aren't normal circumstances, Laurel. He's right. I knew it. I knew this was what he was up to. I really hate being right all the time. Yeah, it's not easy. So I suppose the best place to start is after the battle at the castle. 15 years after, to be precise. Zeno Slade? Yeah, who the hell are you? Stefan Farmast. Pleasure to finally meet you. Name sounds familiar, but I can't place it. You must really be keeping to yourself. I'm the leader of the new rebellion. Don't make me say it too many times. I have enemies all over the place. I've been travelling all over Solist, looking for some of the warriors who fought with Walter Blackstill. Fighting the Soldians, are you? Yes, and I will be honoured if you'll join the cause. Sorry, I don't do that kind of thing anymore. Once was enough. You won't help me? I've heard you were... Look, that was 15 years ago. I'm not the same man I was then. You made me believe we could change the world if we just stuck to our principles and stood up for ourselves. We did that, and they destroyed us. They destroyed him. They destroyed what we stood for. I can't be a part of something like that again. They got you right where they want you. You've given up. Excuse me? Do you remember his speeches? I've read every one of your group transcribed. He talked about how those in power rely on the cruelty of their followers to break people who think differently. You were right there in the audience when he gave that speech. Now you've let the Saldeans break you. Doesn't it bother you the way people talk about him now? You must be aware of this. I was a child when it happened, and I've grown up hearing about him as some bedtime cautionary tale. Follow the rules, Stephen. You don't want to end up like Volref Blacksteel. This man was your leader, your mentor. Is this really how you want him to be remembered? Or do you want to help me finish what he began? Something he said pushed the right button. Against all odds, I was inspired again. When I arrived at the camp, I was impressed by the size of his force, and there were even more former Soldic knights than Volref had attracted. It seemed the story had touched a nerve in the city. I even saw some familiar faces, people who had fought alongside me 15 years earlier. I was feeling rejuvenated, until I met her.
My Arcadius. Not her.
What are you talking about?
Of course. Late fourth age, Saldean Civil War, actually came face to face with Alyssa Brightway.
Alyssa who? What are you talking about?
Strongest dark mage in history. Some would argue the most powerful sorceress who ever lived.
How do you know so much about her?
She's terrified holy mages for generations. Nobody on our side even mastered our skills the way she mastered dark magic. Nobody knew where she came from. She became an expert in dark magic at a freakishly young age, despite having no history of it in her family. The magic reserve seemed limitless, and nobody could figure out the source of all of her power. I'm amazed you were able to keep your composure in that situation, Stoic.
I almost didn't. As soon as she looked at me, I felt a chill. She was born the day after Volref died. That made her only 15 years old. I certainly didn't feel like an adult around her. She felt that timing was fate, and she wasn't the type who you wanted to argue.
Who is this, Stefan?
Wrong voice.
Who is this, Stefan?
Lino Slade. He fought in Blacksteel's army.
One of the original warriors. Good. I appreciate your presence here. More than most of the others, it is you who has a sense of what is truly at stake in these times of conflict.
Thank you. I like to think so.
All of you endured the humiliation of defeat with such grace, but your time to rise has come. Are you ready to strike back at those impudent Saldean dogs? Are you prepared to help us deliver the punishment they truly deserve?
Punishment, I suppose. But all I really wanted from the beginning was a knighthood, open to anyone looking to help others.
But by now you must know the resistance you encountered when you attempt to establish such a group. If we hope to realize your dream, or the dream of anyone in our army, we must first crush them once and for all.
He's right. The lesson to be learned from what happened to Volref is that the Saldeans must be utterly destroyed before a knighthood like ours can prosper. That's why when I started this campaign, I decided to take the fight to them. I intend to continue that course. General Mephisto's army is on the march, and we shall engage them in mere days. I was so blind. I should have known right then that something was wrong with this picture. No kidding. This Alyssa woman seems like Sandahar times 10. How did those two wind up working together in the first place?
I can answer that. Stephen Farmast's first confrontation with General Mephisto ended badly for him. He was mortally wounded. But Alyssa walked the battlefield after the conflict and saved his life. After that, she began to guide the campaign.
I'm impressed, but I'm quite knowledgeable on this particular subject.
I always found myself repulsed and fascinated by the stories I heard about Alessa. It was so scary, but I really wanted to know more. I went through so many of Dasani's historical documents and books trying to find more details.
Wow, really? Did you, like, have a secret crush on her or something?
Baron, stop that. That is so disrespectful.
May I continue?
Zeno. That really you?
That really you, Whistle?
Yeah. Damn, it's been so long.
Is Ivito here too?
Ivito.
Zeno, he died. He died during the battle at Blackstill's castle. By Arcadius. I was there and I never even knew. And now it's just you and me. You know, with Enka and Invito gone, they're all that's left of our whole group.
Enka didn't die. He came close, but he's still around. Definitely not here, though. He's not the same, that's for sure. I heard about your fight that day. He took your eye and you nearly cleaved his head in two. He recovered, if you can call it that. He's changed. Can't even talk to him. He was always a little intense, but now he's downright bloodthirsty. Better than try to treat him, the knighthood embraced that quality. He's been promoted a great deal since that battle. To be honest, it made me sick. That's why I'm here now. Salty and knighthood just isn't what I thought it was when I was a kid.
There's got to be more than this. More than watching the world fall apart despite everything we do. Well, at least we're on the same side this time.
Yeah, better late than never.
That was the first time I saw General Mephisto in action. I remember him. My comparative religion professor was really interested in him. The double resurrection guy? That's him, alright. And I didn't know any of that stuff at the time. I just knew he was the leader of the Soldier Army.
Wait a sec. Lightning magic? But didn't the Soldians have rules against that stuff? They did, but General Mephisto was arguably the most famous rule breaker in their ranks.
I doubt any of the brass in the Soldiers was very happy with that. But he won so many battles that they were willing to let the other one. However, I took note of more than just that. I never used magic, but I learned a great deal about sorcery from my time in Wolf's Knighthood. These spells he was casting were mild. In other words, he didn't want to kill any of us. Zeno! Zeno! Enka, don't make me go through this again. I don't want to fight you.
Lieutenant Enka, we need you.
Silence! Are you insane? That was your comrade. Fight me, you coward! Now, my friend, you die. What the?
You're not well, Enka. You got to stop this.
Another traitor. I'll send you all to Perdita's realm. Ugh. That time, he died. I'm lucky Wysol was there that day. His sickness had become too strong for me to defeat him alone. The battle went on for a while after that, but we were eventually forced to retreat.
Really? Even with Alessa there?
Even with Alessa there, General Mephisto was a great tactician, and always found a way to distract her. Stefan was fed up. Mephisto had outsmarted him one too many times. He and Alessa decided that their campaign couldn't go further until he was out of the picture. That would be my job. Assassination was hardly my specialty. I've always been more inclined towards big brawls than quick kills. But I was considered one of the stronger warriors they had, so they suspected I had the best chance to take out the general. Spent a few days stalking out the place from a distance, figuring out when they were and weren't in the base. When the opportunity presented itself, I found a place to hide out and wait for the right moment. I know you're there. Come on out now. You can't really get the drop on someone who can see in the dark. Ah, I recognize you. Carrying out Stefan's dirty work? He was right, you know. Volrath, I mean. About the magic, at least. I've known that for quite a long time. The necromancers used to take advantage of that rule during the wars. They would have dark mages and liches casting spells from cliffs and such. By the time any knights got to them, they had caused terrible damage. It wasn't long before I had a few other generals figured out what to do. I and a few other generals, but there was no way we could stand up to those tactics without some magic. The leaders didn't like it, but what were they going to tell us? Don't win? Wait a minute. Are you telling me you fought in those wars during the Third Age? That's impossible. Well, that's a story I can share another time. Let's talk about you, not me. You're not even going to try and fight me, are you? No. If you happen to lunge at me, I will defend myself, but other than that, no. I know that most of you who are fighting with Stefan are good people, but you've been wounded, and now you're following him blindly. The Saldian knighthood is out of step with today's sensibilities. You and the others have seen that, and they have made you suffer for it. Not right. But war isn't the answer. Instead, it's going to take time, cooperation, discussion. We can't do any of that the way things are now. I'm not sure if you realize this, but right now we are fighting a defensive campaign. Your leader and that witch have been attacking us relentlessly. You haven't given us a choice. None of the brass here wants another Volrath. I'm not sure you even grasp the power his name holds since his death. I don't know what to say. I've given you a lot to think about, haven't I? I'm glad. I don't want to hurt you, any of you. Tell your comrades what I told you. Wait one moment. What's your name? I'm Zeno Slade. Zeno, I saw you fight in the last battle. I don't think the single sword approach serves you very well. Take one of mine. I'll get another one inside the base. Thanks. See you around, I guess. Nothing made sense anymore. It was supposed to be like the first time. I was supposed to believe in it, but now there was nothing to believe in. For so long I had associated all of my problems in my life with that knighthood, but their leader had just treated me with respect and understanding. Traits I remembered from Volrath, and the man who would be Volrath seemed focused on fighting instead of the ideals. And that was so hard for me at the time. I had defined the world with such simple rules. Those who saw things the way I did were good, and those that don't evil. Up until then I hadn't seen the signs that Stefan war was less than noble. The only thing he had common with there, both of them fell in the wrong type of people, only because they wanted someone to believe in them. Most importantly, part of his efforts were violence and rather than standing Stefan for not learning the lessons of Auror's Fall, but then I would also have to condemn myself. I had now fallen in with allies who shared perhaps even fewer of my values than the Soldian knighthood, all because I didn't want to feel alone. It's a powerful thing, that need for someone to see value inside you, and when the world at large denies you that, you take the first chance to get it, whatever. Fucking auto-text. Mephisto was a good man, perhaps even capable of creating change I had hoped for all these years, but I knew already that encouraging a peaceful resolution of the conflict would not go over well, not with those two leaders. But what else could I do? They were waiting for me. Ah, you've returned. Is it done? No. What happened? This isn't the way. We're only hurting our cause if we continue on this course. Assassinations, constant battles, it's all wrong. Excuse me, Zeno, but I don't recall asking for your opinion. You were given a task and expected to complete it. I won't. I'm very disappointed. I think that Vorov counted on you as one of his friends. You have no right to invoke him. You say you have the same ideals, but you don't have any of his compassion. You're only in this for yourself.
I've had enough.
Oh, what was that like? To die? Felt like going to sleep, except I didn't dream. I felt a bit like I was moving, but I couldn't see where I was going. What I remember most about that moment is the huge wave of comfort that swept over me. Nothing seemed like a problem anymore. If someone had offered me the choice of returning to solace or staying wherever I was, it would have been no contest. And in the end, that choice was made for me.
I'm glad you came back.
Now, how much time passed between your death and when you came back as a skeleton? A couple of days, I think, but I had no clue at the time.
Not quite what I wanted, but I can see I'm making progress. Ah, you're awake. Xena, was it? Don't worry, you don't need to respond. It will take you some time to learn how to speak again. Welcome to your new existence. Let me explain a few things to help ease the transition. The dark magic that created you simulates almost every aspect of life. You will experience all emotions and feel pain the way you always used to. But you can't completely replicate life, at least not with this type of spell. You will no longer eat or drink, and you no longer breathe. You will never become ill, and should you express any interest in sorcery, you will only be capable of dark magic. In your case, I've made some changes to the typical ritual as part of my pursuit of more formidable skeletons. I've infused you with an ample amount of dark magic, far more than is normally used. You are stronger than the typical skeleton. You will also live far longer. You might even outlive me, but I doubt that. For now, you will need time to adapt to the dark magic and learn how to move about again. You will excuse me, I have other matters to attend to.
I spent what felt like an eternity in that pool of water, struggling just to move. Man, could any human being be that powerful?
Looking over the records of what she managed to accomplish, it's possible to make the case that she wasn't human at all.
But if she wasn't human, what was she? No, it's impossible. None of us can say for sure whether it's possible or not. I've certainly stayed awake many nights pondering that myself. But at that moment, all I wanted to do was move, and finally I figured out how. Ugh. I was so confused, only half aware of the world around me. But I was coherent enough to know I would not be staying around to help with whatever Alyssa's insane scheme was. That was a loud one. It won't be long until he breaks through. We can't keep standing around. We have to put some distance between us and him.
But you didn't even get to explain how he got all huge like that.
What would you rather have? A resolution to that story or your life?
Both? What kind of question is that?
Still have to stop Sonic. If he and that monster get off this island, we'll have mass slaughter on our hands.
But getting to Solid means getting past Anchor somehow.
True. I was about to break through that rubble, but if he continues to follow us around the beach, he may be able to find another way back inside. There's a hole at the very top of this mountain, that's right above where we just were. It's risky, but the only real shot we have.
How do we get to the top?
We'll have to walk around this mountain, starting with the coastline on the east side. Is it 6 or 5? Excellent. Still a hell of a lot more facts and backstory to go. Said we had to head the other direction, you twit. Okay, fine. I feel like that. You pull my heart. Ah, wow, you picked the one that hadn't attacked yet. Hooray. High tide. Damn it all. Who cares? Let me take a little dip in the ocean. Don't be a baby. No idiot. Trudging through water that deep will take us too long. And God will catch up to us. Boat's useless too. Full of holes and rotted.
Is there another route we can take?
Yeah, not the most direct path, but we'll have to do. Let's head back in the other direction and explore. Who's the nitwit now, Stoic? Oh, we're going to get wet after all. If we have to do any more pillar jumping, this wind will affect how far we go. Let's keep that in mind. Ugh. I'll start blowing hard then. Thank you for fucking my goddamn party's ability to goddamn well see. Piece of fucking shit. Would you stop not fucking down? That's... Hooray! Secret recipe time. Giving me a fight while I'm trying to look around. Sake, don't fucking make my people unable to target. Check out my shroud. Literally the worst fucking... Fine, whatever. Up there, I can't really see. Really? I can't even walk up there anyway, okay. I think we've got a nice head start. I want to know more about that thing in case we have to fight it. Very well. You'll recall I had just left Ulysses' lair after being resurrected. What's all the commotion? Arcadius, stop right there, skeleton! Wait, what are you doing? Better just destroy it. Stop. You need to bother yourself with this situation, General. We got it covered. Only fools and tyrants attack someone who has done no wrong. Stand down, both of you. Huh? That's an order, knights. That's my sword you're holding. In that outfit. Phew. You're walking, but you haven't fully adjusted yet. Come on. I know what you're going through. I was once undead too. Mephisto got the other knighthood leaders to let me stay in the army's fort. I was surprised they didn't put up more of a fight. The looks on some of their faces. Perhaps the aftermath of Volrus' rebellion had taken just as much of a toll on them as it had on us. I took a few days to let the shock of my transformation wear off somewhat. After that, I was in for a few surprises. Zeno, I would like you to meet two very good friends of mine. This is Dalton Kajarian and his wife, Gwyneth Matry. God fucking sake, walking you interrupted like that. Don't be intimidated by these thrones. They aren't meant for us. We're just having some fun with them. Dalton here knew Volrath Blacksteel very well. You did. Oh yes, we go very far back. We both grew up in Salderness. He was a couple of years older than I was. He was always looking out for me. Just like an older brother. He fell out of touch for many years, however. He passed the great test and I didn't.
Bit ironic, really.
I'm surprised I never saw you back at our castle. You didn't believe in the concept of the great test. Certainly would have allowed you to join us. Or he would have. Though I didn't find out about that movement until it was far too late. Looking back, I think you got the raw end of the deal after all. When I wasn't able to join the knighthood, I left the city and really found myself. Learned some magic, travelled the world. Eventually I settled in Rupel, where I met Gwyneth here. Not now, Sylvia. Daddy's busy. Wait a few minutes, okay? Laura, on the other hand, joined the knighthood, hoping to make him better, and they took him apart for it.
Dalton, he already knows that part of it. I think Mephisto wanted you to tell him about the day of the battle.
The battle? You mean the one at Volrus Castle? Yes, we were the ones who tried to stop Volrath and Sandahar from trying to call up Redurta's dark power. We knew who Sandahar was, and what he was capable of. He managed to fully complete that spell, Solast itself would have been in danger. Once that dark power started to come out, Laura finally saw that creep for what he really was. He joined with us and we managed to subdue Sandahar. Voraf. He didn't make it. Thank you. I'm glad to have more insight. I thought it was something you should know. I couldn't bear to see that happen to anyone else. We can't lose more visionaries like him to this conflict.
Once we defeated Sandahar, I dispelled the dark magic in the area. I thought that was the end of it, but now I'm not so sure. I hear about the skills of the sorceress currently allied with Stefan Farmast. I wonder if that's where it really went.
You're saying that Alessa somehow tapped into the power left behind from the spell Voraf and Sandahar cast? I don't know for sure, but it wouldn't surprise me. Fiona? Is that really you?
Thought so. It's you, Zeno. My Arcadius. Come on, let's talk over here.
This has to be quite a shock. I'm sorry.
You don't ever have to apologize for what you are to me, or anyone who was in our knighthood. You know that.
How have you been?
A lot has changed since we last saw each other. The boy sitting on the left end of the table, that's Warren. Son.
Your son? So?
Yes. Oloraf was his father.
I understand now. That was why you left the castle before the battle.
It's true. At the time I was so furious he made me leave him. But he was right. No matter what, we had to make sure his future was secure. I had to try and give him the chances we never had.
Seeing Fiona again did a great deal to lift my spirits. I became comfortable at the Sardian fort, against all odds.
What's on your mind? Daphne? I thought so. Seeing me must have brought back memories of all of us. Especially her. Couldn't believe my ears when I first heard that she was like a sister. Must have been even harder for you.
I'd never met anyone like her, and in the years since, everyone I've met just doesn't measure up.
Yeah, I sure know that feeling. I always felt like I had pulled the rug out from under him, like he just could not understand why I loved him so much. To me it was always obvious, never to him. Tried so hard to make his world a little brighter. To this day I still wonder if he was ever able to ignore those doubts and accept how much he meant to me.
He did. I talked to him the night before he died. He knew how you felt. He said it had meant so much to him that he had even considered giving up the whole crusade. But if he had actually done that,
he wouldn't have been the person we know.
Knew, whatever. So, what brought you to Saldinus? It's certainly the last place I would expect to see Voraf's son.
Me too, but I had nowhere to go when I left. And this city is where I grew up. I did everything I could to keep Warren's father a secret, but somehow Stefan Farmast found out. And imagine what he had planned. Realize that someday Warren will be making his own choices. He is not yet an adult, and I don't want him taking part in any war on either side. Stefan wouldn't accept that, When he tried to force Warren to join up with his army, it was Mephisto who came to our rescue. He has a lot more sense and perspective than the other knighthood leaders, probably because he's been around so damn long. Makes me furious what Stefan's done in Volra's name. Son is too young to restore our family's honor, but I'm not.
Enough is enough, General. Won't have you harboring this callow traitor. You won't, will you? Well then, you can't find off Stefan and Alessi. Well then, you can find off Stefan and Alessi yourself. Are you going to allow this to come to that, or will you just let it go? I thought so. There's nothing in that book that isn't true, you know. The knighthood I remember was above these lies and distortions, Stormblade. You would do well to remember that. Evening, Xena. What was that about? He's upset because I'm protecting Roland Pori from him. Who is that? A young kid from Saldinus who took an interest in the knighthood's history. Suffice it to say that the charters focused on recent history don't paint a nice picture. Stormblade's doing all he can to keep the public in the dark, something I don't approve of. The knighthood is through no matter what happens with Stefan and Alessa. Really, what's going on? Every day we get more resignations from knights. People who have donated to the knighthood for generations now want no part of it. I've seen this coming for a while now, and it's all because of your hero. At first I resented him for it. And this knighthood meant a great deal to me in my younger days, but now that I see how the officials behave when they are under stress, I understand why it had to be done. I've been meaning to ask you. You once said you were undead at some point. How is that possible? Or did I just hear wrong? No, you heard right. I consider this my third life. My first life ended in battle against the necromancers centuries ago. Daniel Mortis, my old enemy from those ties, came back as a lich. I guess he couldn't resist the idea of having me under his control. Though I didn't get used to my skeletal self in time, it didn't take long for that body to get destroyed. After that, he managed to cast a rare spell that could fully restore life. He used mind control to keep me in line, but that only worked for so long. So he's gone and I'm still here. So, it is possible to be brought back as a human, even if you're undead? There's some proof of that. I don't think it happens all that often. Know what you're thinking, and don't do that to yourself. If you spend your existence waiting for that, it will just leave you with disappointment. You may look different, but you are the same man. You have nothing to be ashamed of, Zeno. And here's the one who ended my career as a skeleton.
It was easy.
What?
Save the jokes for later. We have a serious problem.
What's going on?
Alyssa's army is on the march. They will reach Saldinus in mere days.
They want to mount an attack on the city itself, even more bold than usual. What has them so confident?
Thought you might ask that. Some scouts reported that she's recently been traveling with some creature. It resembles a skeleton, but it's enormous. Human bones, but the creature is the size of a minotaur.
By Arcadius. What sort of sorcery has she mastered now? Well, it's obvious that we can't allow them to reach the city walls. Gather the army. We'll engage them in the forests. Don't see either of them yet.
Stefan!
You again. I see you have totally solid. You have totally sold your soul to these barbarians. How sickening.
Save your self-righteous bluster. Your soul is long gone, you opportunistic ingrate.
Dead set on fighting me, are you? Fine then, let's settle this. Great. This all ends today, Alyssa.
I couldn't agree more, General.
What in the name of Arcadius was that?
You should have seen it coming, fool. After all, I see you have recruited one of my earlier attempts. But now your entire force shall fall before my ultimate triumph. Destroy them all, Ankia.
Inca? It can't be. What? What has she done to you? We have to get to Alyssa. Who knows what else she has in store for us? Dalton, Brennan, come on! Why am I always the one who has to deal with you, Inca? Don't you see how pathetic this is? Look at us. We're both not even human anymore, yet we're still stuck in this loop, fighting over and over again. Let's end it now, before we destroy each other for good. It was hopeless. None of my attacks were effective. If I had more time to practice fighting as a skeleton, maybe I would have done better. I doubt it. Each of his blows felt like getting hit with a dozen hands at once. I managed to keep him away from the other sides. Once I was gone, I knew he would wreak havoc. I thought all was lost, but then...
You fools! You think you have defeated me? You and all those who follow you shall suffer for your insolence. You will see destruction beyond anything you have ever imagined. Pitiful children of Arcadius shall fight and kill one another until you are no more. I may die, but you will all burn.
Inca? Without Alyssa, he seemed unable to focus on our fight, or anything else. He was gone, and I certainly wasn't about to try and find him. Her death disorientated Stefan as well, enough for Fiona to gain the upper hand. It proved to be the last battle in the Saldian Civil War. Mephisto's prediction had been accurate. Too many people could now see how the Saldian knighthood had declined. Facing no new membership and a tide of knights leaving, it collapsed. I remained in the area for several decades. Thanks to Fiona, Warren turned into a young man of great character. He never became as famous as his father, but he spent his whole life active in causes designed to help others. A quiet way to honour his parents. Fiona never married. I found out that my old friend Wesel had left Stefan's knighthood not long after my death. He did get married and had a whole bunch of kids. I was glad. At least someone in the old group deserved a happy ending. And a great deal of time with them. The years went on, and eventually everyone around me grew old and passed on. One day, I realized I was living in a city where I knew no one. I drifted back to the Nuktuk area. Seemed like the only place where I had any roots. On my way there, I ran into a bit of trouble. What the? Ha! Fallen into my trap, have you? I heard them of a skeleton prowling around this area. Let me go, Ingrate. What's the meaning of this? If you must address me, do so by name. I am Dobson Robin. It is my duty, it is the duty of my family to purge Solace of all undead. You are out of your mind. I've done nothing to hurt anyone. Your very existence is an insult to Arcadius. The foul creations of Perdita must not be allowed to taint his kingdom. Care to repeat those comments? A loser. That was the very first self-righteous undead fool I ever came across. There will be many more. That family in particular has been a constant thorn in my side for centuries. Should have killed that first Robin. Would have saved us all a lot of trouble. Don't be a jerk.
What happened after that?
Aside from the occasional incident like that, life was very quiet for the next century or so. Until one day. This will probably get DMCA'd. Now what's about to happen? What the hell is that? I blacked out instantly. The falls threw me off that mountain. I survived the fall, and when I woke up, that very mountain was long gone. That wasn't the only difference. Who knows how long I was out, but the world had completely changed in that time.
My brother's still in there.
Oh, I'll get him.
You? You. There must be others who need help.
Yeah.
Mommy is trapped under there.
Not for long.
Mommy! She's still alive.
Nicely done. Thank you. I'm just doing what I can to make sense of this insanity.
Isn't that the truth? What's happening to Celeste? I've got no idea. All I know is that there are people all over the place who really need help. You all need help. Come on.
What's going on? What's going on? Dad's family's on the other side. Any ideas? We can search for his family, but none of us are going to be able to cross that chasm.
Too heavy for me to lift. If you heal me, I may be able to help. My thanks. Get ready, child. Whoa!
We can accompany you to your family's house. You must lead the way.
This is my house. Edward? Can't believe it. I thought you were gone. Oh, giving me my life back. Bless you, Arcadius, bless you all.
That was the first time someone had said that to me since I became a skeleton. Everything had changed. I could feel it all around me. When I finally took a few moments to look around the area on that dark day, I realized he had been right. There will be a day when we are all forced to put aside these false divisions. There will be a day when things are so bad that coming together is the only hope we have. And on that day, we will be united as one. It's really something. All that chaos around you. But you still kept it together enough to help other people. You rule. Not something I need to be complimented about. To be honest, it felt like I didn't have a choice. It felt like the only sane thing to do. Definitely was not the only one. The Rain of Fire seemed to bring out the best in everyone. With that sort of cooperation, we were able to get control. Put out as many fires in the area as we could. The rest eventually burned themselves out. We were able to construct some shelters from all those who had their homes destroyed by the wreckage. I've never been prouder to be living in solace than I was in those days after the rain.
It's often said that the best proof that something divine exists inside all of us can be found in the aftermath of a great tragedy. But what happened after you guys were done cleaning up? He's on his way.
I'll have to finish later. Piece of shit. Finally. Looking like progress. This also looks like progress. Why do they insane? Ah, why? Damn time to pick up on that. Ah. Stop fucking. Ugh. Ugh. Fucking time I gotta make a jump. Yeah. Now this seems like fucking advancement as well. Oh my god, why can't you just... Main rule. Not actually see it all. No. Recipe 11. Kind of hoping that would actually lead me over to where the ferry was. But oh well. to check. Oh, for the love of God. Same. Ugh. 0.
Listen, things could get rough. You're up against a pair of necromancers who complement each other's moves. I'd suggest taking out the healer first, or you could be in for a nasty shock.
Eesh, that's the only way to get back in, huh? Either that or go for anchor. This is it. This is where we defeat him where we defeated him last time. No skipping ahead. We've got to start after the rain of fire. Because nothing's more important at this point than story, right? The group of us who banded together during the rain stayed together for some time after. I remember I never felt comfortable telling Delgrin the elf, or Knack the Minotaur, or any of the others my real name. It seemed pointless. Everyone who knew me as Xeno was long gone. I almost felt like I had no identity at all anymore. Which was Delgrin? I'm getting over this. That makes 2 of us. How does anyone deal with something so unprecedented? I've been alive for quite a long time now, and this is unlike anything I've experienced. But all we can do is go on. I've had several moments where I felt like my life was over. I guess the world didn't see it that way. So here I am. And as long as the gods see fit to keep me here, I'll do what I can to help others who need it. That's all I've ever wanted to do. I mean, I just said which ones they were earlier. I can't fucking remember. Well, it's one stoic attitude. I'm impressed. About half of our group set out to get a look at how the area's landscape had changed. Carlin the Lodite and the fairy returned after a couple of weeks. The woman who had been tailing us since the rain turned out to be a writer named Jana, who had written a great deal of storybooks for children. At that point she wasn't sure if any of her work had survived the catastrophe. She seemed desperate to chronicle something, so she followed us. What news do you bring from your travels, friends?
It's incredible. The whole Nutduck region has completely been cut off from the world at large. We're an island now. There's no telling how long it will be before anything close to a shipyard will be built here.
In the meantime, we're stuck here. I guess we'll have to make do.
You guys may be sticking around. It's time I was moving on.
What? Where are you going?
Our whole government is in shambles right now. If we don't get it fixed, all sorts of people won't get the help they need. Fortunately, we have long had a contingency plan for this sort of incident. All of us are set to meet in Millennia. One of the oldest cities on Solest. Hopefully it has survived. And I've already delayed too long. You will take care.
And that's how it was for many years. The Reign of Fire itself was over, but the world wasn't done changing. Solace slowly shifted over a long period of time, until the land where I was began to resemble the Nutduck we know. Society began to get back on its feet. But the peace didn't last long. Didn't last. It never does. Ugh, what's that smell? Delgrin's a Minotaur.
By Arcadius.
What could have done this?
Did you see that? Some monstrous thing just walked out from behind the wreckage.
What are you talking about? Oh no. Find a place to hide, now!
What's going on? What is that thing?
More importantly, why are we hiding?
More importantly, why are we hiding and letting you get away with what just happened here?
I wish it would put fucking pictures of each character talking. Because you'll be killed. You familiar with this creature? I'm familiar enough to know that we don't stand a chance. The necromancer who created and designed him to be invincible, and she succeeded. Nothing is invincible. Now that he's about as close as you, he's about as close as you can possibly get.
The necromancer who created him, is he still at large?
No, he's been gone for some time.
Why is he here? Why is he doing this?
That's my fault. We fought each other with those humans and struck him in the head. His mind was never right after that. He's bloodthirsty and totally irrational. Any trace of sanity he had was gone when he was resurrected. There was nothing but a killing machine. I helped create him, but last time we fought I could do nothing against him. Yet we cannot sit idly by. This creature is a threat to everyone we've been trying to protect. You're right, but I don't know what to do. Write down names of which I made it so easy for myself to forget about Enka, but he's my responsibility. In the past I would have let someone else make the hard decisions, but all the people I looked to are gone. Nobody left. Except me.
Except us.
We must not let the safety of this land's people be compromised by our fears. Let's follow him, and hope that we can find some way to stop him for good. We followed Enka's trail of destruction for miles, through the forests around Vora's castle and finally to these very shores. As it turned out, this was where he had made himself at home. Thankfully it was nearly devoid of civilization. Perhaps that was what he liked.
Yes.
For Arcadius' sake, keep your voice down or we're done for.
You're yelling at me to make that point? I think I missed something.
Enough.
What's he doing?
Looks like he's just watching the sea. Looks peaceful.
Maybe we ought to just leave him here.
Can't risk that. There's clearly something about this place that appeals to him. Explains why he seems to have settled here. Maybe it's part of the reason why he stayed quiet for all this time since we beat Alessia. Now that we know where he is, let's split up and explore this area. Not engage him until we have some kind of plan. We comb the whole coast looking for something. Not sure what exactly, just anything that would inspire an idea. Thankfully, Delgren found such an inspiration. Here it is. This hole here. Are you suggesting we try to get Enka to fall inside it?
Chances are he will jump right back out.
I know that. That's why getting him into the hole is only the first half of the plan. Then what happens? Look up there. You see that enormous rock? Yes, an impressive boulder visible even from here. This is what we'll do. Carlin will stay in here for now. We'll find Enka and I will draw him inside the cave. I'm the fastest here, so I should be able to stay out of his way long enough to get him near the hole. Carlin can use his ice spells to freeze the area near the edges. Enka slips and falls in. Knack and Bones will be up there. When Enka falls in the hole, I'll signal. Then you two will push the boulder through the hole at the top of this cave. It should land right on top of Enka. I'll be stuck in here. In there.
That's incredible. Can you go over that one more time so I can make sure I didn't make any mistakes?
Coming together now. That was how you all trapped him. Well, kind of. Dahlgren's idea was well thought out, but things didn't go according to plan. Here he comes. You guys remember what to do? Of course, we are not babies. Just be careful. Catch me if you can.
What's going on? Why isn't he following Dahlgren?
Oh no. What's us? Not Dahlgren. What do we do now? He's after me. We'll have to use that as best we can. Let's go. No more running. No. What? You should be part of the cliff after a blow like that. I told you, you can't fight him. No, snap out of it. We're only going to get one chance at this. Right. Here I come. 1, 2, 3, push! Did it work? Better believe it worked. Right on top of the bastard.
Great job, guys. He's never coming out of there.
So, ace spells. You never mentioned that.
Well, I'm hardly an expert. It's just something I learned quickly years ago. Helps me write quicker when I have to meet a deadline.
You made out pretty well. Shall be leaving here with quite the story.
Don't I know it? Your names will go down in history. I still don't know yours.
Oh, just call me Stoke. Wow, so you must have been quite the local celebrity for a while. Took a while for January's camp to spread, especially in those days after the Ring of Fire. But over the years, more people seemed to know of me. She was only able to make so many copies. There weren't exactly ample resources in those times. To be honest, I didn't think any had survived. That must be what Sonic read. It's the only way we would have been able to figure out Anko was here. And you know what? You beat him once and you can do it again. This time we have our help. I wish I could be so confident, but it's not that easy. That time we had a plan. This time it all just happened.
Are you scared? Never thought I would see that.
Yes, I am, because I have no idea what to do. He's back and we're all in deep trouble.
Almost sorry I asked in the first place. A creature that horrible and he thinks he can just use it for his schemes.
Seems like Sonic wants chaos. Something to shake up the foundations of society. With Anka, he'll get that.
We gotta do something. Let's pulverize all of them before this gets too crazy.
Are you listening at all? We can't defeat Anka. None of us. Not even me. I just got lucky.
Even if that's true, we can't sit around and do nothing. This could cost lives all over the world.
During my first battle with him, I survived because he lost his bearings after a lesser was defeated. Without a master to help direct his rage, he's generally less dangerous. His mind was deteriorated to the point where he'll just lash out wildly without orders to follow. We could take out Sonic. We may be able to get Enka into another trap. I don't think Enka will fall for the same trick twice, but maybe we can come up with something else. There's another hole down there, so we have to be extra careful.
There they are. An anchor is still outside the cave.
Good, let's do this.
Are we really doing this?
Yep, I'll use a wind spell to guide our drop, so we'll miss that other hole. No time to be squeamish. Everyone get ready.
Can we leave?
No, we have to wait until the rain stops.
Why is that so important?
I can't stand it, that's why. It's in my skull and squishes around, drives me nuts.
I think you're there already.
Well, hello again. You went too far this time. All of this should have stayed in the past. The past is prologue, as they say. Look, you maniac. I'm not going to let you start some kind of massacre. I don't care what sort of monsters you throw at us. Impressive bravado. But I'm sure by now Stoic has told you about Inca's strength. You can't win. Well, you know what? All those stories were about people who never gave up, even when it looked like the odds were totally against them. Not Volrath, not General Mephisto, and not Stoic. In fact, you don't even deserve to be anywhere near the places where these guys risked their lives for what was right. Now get ready, because I'm going to put some dents in your skull. I don't deserve?
I'm laughing again.
I think you three fools have quite an unreliable narrator in your midst. What rosy vision of history has he been telling you? Volrath Blackstone is one of my heroes. Did Stoic ever explain exactly how Volrath acquired the resources to build a knighthood from scratch? A rogue knight who nobody trusts suddenly becomes a revolutionary receiving the endless resources. Exercise your critical thinking skills, my friends. What are you going on about now? Volrath was a necromancer. He learned the fundamentals from the Dark Elf Sandahar, spent years honing his skill before he began the rebellion. The two of them came up with a plan that was quite brilliant. Volrath cast only one necromancy spell, but it was a wise one. They returned the necromancer Thaniel Mortis to life as a lich, and then gave him the task of amassing a small army of undead warriors. Thaniel, or Thanatos as he preferred to be called after that, joined with Sandahar to gather resources for the campaign ahead. While Volrath appealed to potential members of the new knighthood, they committed various crimes in order to gather some quick funding. Kidnappings, robberies. Volrath knew this was going on, but ignored it. The ends justified the means, I suppose.
Oh, that's crap. Is it Stoic?
It is true he was desperate. Thanatos eventually got out of control and was killed by General Mephisto. Volrath made no attempt to save him. He had realized his mistake. That wasn't his only mistake, was it, Stoic? Tell me, did he ever tell you exactly why the Soldians attacked the castle when they did? Didn't think so. Perhaps he at least mentioned the argument Volrath had with Miles Stormblade. After that confrontation, Volrath was livid. Anger was his greatest weakness after all. It was easy for Sandahar to talk him into accelerating the plan to destroy the Soldians and tap into Bedurta's power. He suggested that they have Grandmaster Drake Ramzad killed. Sandahar had summoning skills and sent a creature to carry out this assassination. Volrath approved the plan. That was why he felt so guilty before he died. He realized all of his mistakes a little too late, but I can forgive a man his flaws, considering everything he did for my predecessors. That's enough. By the time Volrath began his campaign, the necromancers were nearly gone. The wars with the Soldians waged war against us almost wiped us out. He did what none of us could do. He began a chain of events that ultimately destroyed the knighthood that made our lives miserable for centuries. Necromancers throughout history owe him a great debt, including a lesser great one. Ugh. You see, Stoic, this is what I've been trying to tell you all along. You were too close to all of these events to properly understand their significance. You're good for quotations, anecdotes. Those little details that are hard to find, but you don't see the whole picture. But I spent my entire life looking at the whole picture of Solace history, and eventually I came to a surprisingly simple realization. Want to hear it? Not especially. Well, too bad. I learned that throughout the entire history of this world, the name Arcadius has been used to keep people down. The centuries of Saldean bigotry, 400 years of Gallian imperialism and genocide, and now the quiet crimes committed by the hand. So many people look to Arcadius when it is Predator that holds the key to the future. Think of all the hate always directed at the dark arts. What if it was gone? What if people understood the true possibilities of necromancy? It wasn't easy to find out the secrets to the forbidden spell of rebirth, but I did it, and it was spectacular. Imagine if doctors all over the world were assisted by highly skilled necromancers. There would be no more reason to more murders or sudden accidents. We could return those people to life, and if someone grew old and wanted to see their descendants live on, they could enjoy centuries of additional existence as skeletons. Predator has always wanted us to have that control over life and death. Control that would lead our world into a new age, but the forces of Arcadius have worked out time to keep it from us. But now I shall bring about what she always intended, a glorious new era. The Fifth Age has gone on long enough, don't you think? It is time to usher in the Sixth.
It's disgusting.
You would say that, wouldn't you, you little dutiful stooge? Hey, you better watch it. Sixth Age, eh? And your name would be in all the history books as the one who brought it on. That's what you really want. It's a nice perk. I don't care what sort of utopia you think will come of this. Nothing justifies these methods. It is a bloody road to my goal. That is true. But there is no other way to break the stranglehold Arcadius has over the people of Solist. The people must behold the full destructive power of Predator before we can shape the society I seek. But who are you to lecture me on methods? Were Volworth methods justified, or is it easier for you to just ignore them? He made grave errors in judgment, and will run away from that, but that doesn't diminish my admiration. Without him, I wouldn't be who I am. Once your remains are strewn about this cave, you might want to ask yourself if you still owe him such gratitude. Just try it. I have not had a chance to test my new abilities in combat. Come, runner, let us crush these idealists once and for all.
Good luck.
I have to take out Rana first. Oh, the fact that I saw Elite Sonic. Perfect. Ugh, that could have gone better. Took your time, I see. We'll destroy these fools. Oh, not good. Stand your ground, guys. I guess in the end it was foolish to think I wouldn't have to confront you again. Huh? Oh, come on. What are you waiting for? Been a long time, Zeno. It can talk? I will do no fighting. Excuse me? You do not control me. Only my mother ever could. And you are not as strong as she. Your mother? You mean Alyssa? Yes. You look surprised, Zeno. You are ready to be crushed, I suppose. Is that really you in there? I'm told I've been under that rock for a long time. All I can remember is anger. Anger at you especially. But then I walked outside. The world seems so different. Things in the past seem pointless now. I did not bring you back for a soliloquy, you imbecile. Mangle these interlopers so we can continue the campaign. Quiet.
Selig.
Nice. I think I like you. I am not here to fight. I heard him go on about things that have happened since I was trapped here. All the violent things people have done. I feel outdated. One time all I wanted was to crush everyone and everything I saw. I wanted to get back at the world. But that world is over. These centuries have given me time to collect my thoughts, to regain some kind of control. You and I have never seen eye to eye, Zeno, and you are the only connection I have left to this world. Getting rid of you seems wrong. But what will you do? You know I could never let you terrorize the world the way you used to. I am finished with that. I remain on this world, and so do you. Perhaps Alyssa had more complicated reasons for creating us the way she did. We have been given the chance to live through the ages, and sometimes that felt like a curse, but perhaps it does not have to be. The only thing I can do is try to find out how I want to spend the rest of the time I have here. With that, I bid you all farewell. Hey! You're responsible for a lot of crimes, pal. You still need to face up for what you've done. Think all that time under the rock was enough, don't you? Do not follow me. Do not try to find me again.
That's unbelievable. Finally took control of all the turmoil in his mind.
Oh yeah, what else would you do under there? I don't like it. He will keep his word. Hope. Someday we may have to deal with him, but for now we have other priorities.
You will recover.
You've been awfully quiet during all of this, Rana.
A lot has happened in a short time, Bones. You never told me.
I thought about it, and I have to be honest. After everything that happened, I'm glad I didn't.
It's all that's changed. He's not the mentor I remember. This new power changed him. Never became involved in this to hurt people. Well, you didn't put up much of a fight, did you? You sat by and let him massacre those people, all in the name of that horrible goddess. I'm not going to have a theological debate with you, priestess.
She has a point, Rana. You're an accessory to murder. Sometimes life is a better teacher than any punishment. Coming here has forced me to look into my past, and I have realized something. You and I are very similar, Rana. We always have been. I suppose that's why we became friends. You grew up feeling out of place. Because of how I felt, I was willing to throw my lot in with anyone who seemed to appreciate me. Sometimes these people were honourable. Sometimes they were not. Stefan Farmast did things that contradicted what I stood for, and yet it took me some time to realise it. Go, brother. You will find your place eventually, as I did. Wait, we're just letting it go? We can't do that, right, Trout? Sometimes justice has to be merciful. I'm not positive it should be in this case, but Stoic's been around a lot longer than I have.
You're really going to let me leave here? Thank you. And I'm so sorry.
I know. That was a lot. You don't know the half of it. Let's get this ingrate out of here. You see, the process of carrying meaning depends on what are called codes. These codes can be anything, individual sounds or body movements people make when they are experiencing emotions. To assign a word to one of these codes, society must be in agreement on its meaning. But the word can only transmit the meaning if it fits with the grammatical structure of a society's language, dissecting these codes as shades of connotations to numerous aspects of life. Huh? You know, I think I'm starting to understand it now. I suppose anything we hear so many times sinks in eventually. I still don't get why you care. How can anyone not? It's not all that complicated, Marias. Elk just uses too many words to explain it. It boils down to what you think about or feel in different situations. Yes, and then seeking to understand why our mind connects certain reactions to these situations. For example, when I see Pilk talking, I become bored. You burned you, Pilk. I am willing to bear the damage to my ego if I helped promote awareness of these concepts which shape the very foundations of our society. What's going on, Douglas?
Thought so. Someone's on their way here.
Heard me coming, did you?
Yeah. You weren't all that quiet. Not like the other guy who skulks around here. He's light on his feet, but I can still tell he's out prowling around.
I haven't been here very long, but I heard a few stories about a group of outlaws who take mercenary jobs. Have I been misinformed?
You have not. We are the Torture Corps, but we do not take just take any job. The details first.
Oh, I think you will want this job. If you've been living near Harrow for any significant period of time, you must have heard about the Tower of Arcadius.
Bits and pieces, yes. But what do we care about a bunch of priests building their own place?
Have you ever heard of a group called Ogallian sympathizers called the Hand?
Hand? You bet we have.
Wait, so they're the ones using the tower?
Yes, of course. Descriptions I heard of the intent behind the tower are always vague. No doubt this is a major effort to assimilate humans who might not otherwise be swayed by their rhetoric. They come to a municipality which has dealt with economic struggles for decades, and suddenly provide jobs and income to the desperate populace. The townsfolk will then begin to associate the group's values with the force that has lifted them out of poverty. Quite brilliant, really. Their membership should increase dramatically.
What? You figured all of that out just now? That's... Ugh.
Why are you shouting?
Forget it. Just having some stomach problems.
Our friend Pilk is quite intelligent, but this strategy isn't new. In the wars we called it winning hearts and minds. Still, this concerns me greatly. I hope the job you're about to propose involves putting a stop to this enterprise. I don't feel like being targeted by these overzealous fools so soon after relocating to this area. We should crush them all.
No need to go that far. For now, a change of leadership will suffice.
So, what happens after all that stuff? What stuff?
Oh, he told us about how he and his friends trapped anchor, but we never heard what happened after.
Oh, this should be entertaining. I'm not here to amuse you, ingrate.
I think we're all curious.
All right then. With anchor trapped, things settled down again. Still, I had been unsettled by the whole experience, and I wasn't alone. Once some ships appeared, everyone in our group left Nuttuck. Over the centuries, many of them succumbed to age. But not Delgrin. Elves live for hundreds and hundreds of years, so we stuck together. He eventually married and settled down with his family in a small town. It was also my home for many years. Really now? I had never read about this part of your life. Perhaps I should publish a volume of my own. I'll call it Stoic, the Freeloading Years. Will someone do something about him? He's getting on my nerves. Ugh! Was that necessary?
Bet it was. Keep hitting him every few minutes, Laurel, in case he tries to get loose. Can't imagine you were that much of a freeloader. After all, you don't even eat.
Thanks. Anyway, it was a happy time for me, but sometimes I just thought too hard.
Everything okay, Stoic?
Yeah, I just get lost in the past sometimes.
That girl from the Black Steel movement, right? You mentioned her before.
I'm getting predictable in my old age. I just sometimes feel like that was my chance. Chance of what you have, what so many people here have. But I lost her, and eventually I lost myself. I'll never have another chance like that again.
That's garbage. Skin, bones, no skin. All that stuff changes the person at the core. It's going to be more difficult for you. You've always known that, I think. But that doesn't mean impossible. I used to believe that you would be alone forever. You have too many good qualities. Listen to him, Stoic. You're a darling.
Thanks.
That reminds me. Have you heard those rumours of a new human knighthood?
No, what's going on?
I don't know too much right now. All I've heard is that there's a new group of them coming together. They seem to have pretty extreme ideals. The downfall of the Soldian knighthood is the real reason for the Reign of Fire, if they're to be believed.
What? That's outrageous. I'm on soulless. Could anyone make a ridiculous assumption like that?
I had the same reaction, but a lot of humans are buying into it. It was so long ago, but the Reign of Fire is still pretty frightening to think about, and also because there seemed to be no reason to it. When someone comes along and decides to explain it, a lot of people do respond, and humans have a history of being very gullible.
Hopefully people can see through it. Otherwise, with the unity we've grown used to, these last few centuries could be gone.
What in the name of Arcadius have you done to that fairy?
Take care of the undead creature first. Huh?
Ah! Holy magic. Stoic, get my family to somewhere safe. I'll deal with them. But just do it.
I was too late. His wife and children were gone by the time I got back to town, and so were most of the villagers. I failed him. After he gave his life for me, someone who should have been dead centuries ago. The Gallians were everywhere. Nobody was safe if they weren't human, and sometimes that didn't even make a difference. All over the place. Everyone's gone. Dahlgren, Ulraf, Daphne. I can't take this anymore. At that point, I wished I had died sometime after the Reign of Fire and before the reemergence of Gallia. And I could have died thinking that my life's work had a small part in making the world a better place. I wouldn't have had to see everything I had worked for crumbling and disappearing. Crumble and disappear. There. The same ignorance and hypocrisy that forced Volrath into action had returned, and it was far worse than ever before. I couldn't bear the thought of living in solace if it was going to be like that. I knew I wouldn't starve in that cave, but I would decide I would test this longevity of mine. And so I spent the majority of Gallia's 400-year reign inside that dark cavern. My fighting skills atrophied, and my techniques were forgotten. I've regained many of them recently, but I'm still not as strong as I was in my prime. I resigned myself to an eternity in that blackness, numb to the rest of the world. But then...
Thought so. How long have you hidden here? Please, don't be afraid. I'm here to help you.
Who are you?
I'm Dasani Apparel. Who are you? You can tell me later, but I want you to come along. No longer will you or anyone else have to hide in a world we all share. I'll take you to a place where you can be safe and among friends. Dasani.
Ugh, I knew it was only a matter of time before that preening narcissist found her way into the story. Ugh, this is cruel and unusual. As you might expect, her offer wasn't one I was going to turn down. I followed her. What is this place?
This is actually a Gallian barracks, but we took it over. It won't be long before we end their brutality once and for all. I know what you're thinking. I have some idea of what you've been through. I'm a telepath. The reason I was able to find you was because the echoes of your pain were all around that cave. You didn't deserve it. Any of it. You're a good person who has been wronged by humanity your entire life. Please don't give up on us yet. Contacted the leader of our effort. They're coming to meet us.
This is the new recruit. Greetings, friend. I'm Arius. This is Gelda Denier, Turnus Worrell, and Nova Sharon. How's it hanging, bud? Greetings, friend.
Good to meet you.
So, you got a name or what? We got a damn minute on our hands, or something? Got a damn mute on our hands or something?
Oh, Turnus, stop it.
I had a name a long time ago. Now people call me Stoic. Oh, my friend Stoic. Let us know if you need assistance.
You don't need to stay around me. Have a look around if you like.
You seem uneasy. Well, I've been around a long time, and I've been involved in many rebellions. I guess I'm just waiting for this one to fall apart like all the others. I know my fair share of military history. I know that efforts like ours are always an uphill battle. Sometimes the enemy simply has greater numbers. Other times the commanders simply have the wrong priorities, and the route tears itself apart from the inside. I can't speak for all of the various leaders over the years. All I can tell you is what I have seen since we began this fight, and why I chose to lead it. See this sword? This is the sword of the Elven Kings. It's been passed down through every generation of Elven rule. King Tur was the last to wield it. He has fallen to Gallia's soldiers. Minirana entrusted it to me, and the first human to ever use it. I'm not doing this to make some kind of hero out of myself. I'm doing it because I have a son. I want him to grow up in a world without Gallia's brand of hate. I'm doing it because when Queen Arania gave this sword to me, there were tears in her eyes, and she begged me to promise her victory. I made that same promise to everyone who wants to live their lives without fear of persecution or violence. I promised them, so I intend to deliver. It's up to you whether you trust me or my allies. That won't change what we do. This may be our last chance to cure humanity of this disease of bigotry. We have soldiers from all different races and all walks of life. And once this is over, we won't simply go our separate ways. We'll work together in all corners of the world to maintain the peace we obtain. So, we really get to win this time? Yes. After all, how can we lose when we have Gelder's obscene axe skills on our side? What is this now? Are you detailing your jealousy to each new person you meet? Yeah, you know me too well. And everyone lived happily ever after. What a sanitized account of the whole affair. You would think all of these folks were utterly perfect individuals. Just shut up or I'm going to give you a third eye cavity. Arius kept his promise. We took Gallia down and the rebellion assumed control of the city. Hasn't been easy, but the world's leaders have been able to maintain peace since then. Spent several years in the city, watching everything transform. It wasn't perfect, but it was remarkable. And eventually my wanderlust got the better of me once again. I set out on my own to see what the future held. Not long after that, I took a nap on the road and found myself buried. Okay, we can stop there. Your storytelling lacks depth. Your tales only provide the facts, not any understanding of motivations or the intricacies of human behavior.
You can say nothing. It was a flawless piece of genius. Huh? Guys.
Where is Colmarin? He's long gone, miscreant.
You dumb bastard. The ship's nowhere near here.
I can't see a damn thing.
Alright, Baron. Remember the dream. Baron. How could you?
No more fooling around. I'm wise to your tricks. Have I heard that before?
That's it.
Wow, Shroud is really holding his own.
Oh, how come you didn't attack Sparrow when you had the chance?
Where is he?
Hanging up there on the wooden towers. I can't follow them now because Sparrow cut the rope.
Come on, we may still be able to help him from the ground.
There they are.
Looks like Traveler's Sparrow Corner. You think you could hit him from the other end?
Too high up. I just end up shooting at the sky.
Damn it.
Whoa, desperate maneuver.
Get into trouble. Trout! So does it.
You give up yet? Not a chance. Oh, it's only fair to note that you have improved. Seems like you've expanded your collection of skills. That's what you do, right? You're able to copy these spells you see and use them later without any side effects. That's how you got wind magic. You saw me cast the first time we met. That's correct. I learned only one school of magic the traditional way. Which one? Sorry, perhaps next time we meet. No, it will not be next time. We're gonna finish this here. You think you're in a condition to make good on that threat? Not sure, to be honest, but there's only one way to find out. Thanks for getting so close. Those toxins should have mobilized you long enough to put an end to this little mystery. Can't be. It's not... Can't be you. No. Just can't be. Not after all this. No sense bothering that hurt anymore. I know who you are. I guess you didn't read my letter. So obvious. And stoic as bones, barren as that idiot friend of yours. And Laura, she saw right through me. I didn't. Never would have thought till I heard your voice when you lost composure.
No, I'm not supposed to be this way. You want my escape from all of this fighting, my way out of this trap. The only reason I'm even fighting you was to put an end to this, so I could... But you've been part of this all along. I never knew. I hate you. No. Come on then. You wanted to finish this, so let's finish it.
You lied to me. You nearly killed me, but I want to fight you.
Don't you dare say that. Don't you ever say that.
It was on the way. Auburn. Away! Jesus, Sparrow! You don't look so good. What happened?
Marin's not here. Somehow they knew you were looking for him. Got him off the island.
Damn. Well, it could have been worse. The necromancer's plans have been derailed for now. Let's say your work here is done. Let's get you back to your associates.
I'll go in a few minutes. Just need to take a breather.
Okay, just let me know when you're ready. I can't believe they dragged us here and that teleportation nonsense is thoroughly unpleasant. You must maintain a civil relationship with them for the time being. You know that as well as I. Suppose it's only just standing around looking important while that self-righteous egomaniac drones on and on. You at the ceremony, gentlemen? What happened, Orban? Why is your head down?
Mr. Kovac, I'm resigning my position as your bodyguard effective immediately.
What? Orban, what is going on?
Sorry, I just can't do it anymore.
Oh dear. Can this get any worse? Don Kovac. Yes? As captain of the guard, it is my duty to inform you that you are under arrest. Don't dare to try to talk to him. What can I even say? There's nothing you can say. There's nothing any of us can say. The two-faced liar has wounded him more deeply than... There.
I'd have told him.
Wait, you knew?
Known since we worked with her in Arkatal.
Of course. How could you not?
I never wanted to tell him. Got so mad that other time, it just didn't seem like my place. Now, I'm afraid I've used very bad judgment again.
Doesn't matter now. The damage is done. Do. Right. That's Arc 5 done. Oh, we'll be winging our way through Arc 6 tomorrow. Don't get why I said that tomorrow.
But for now, though... Bye.